What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of There's Insurance for That, your numero uno, number one destination for all things relating to the topic of insurance. We are your hosts. I am Nate Brown.
And I'm Edwin Moreno, and today we will be talking about the hospitality industry
Yes.
as a whole, because the hospitality industry is a pretty big, it's a
Wow.
big classification of business, right? You got hotels, motels, Holiday Inns. No, I'm kidding.
Say
You got
what?
but you got hotels, you have motels, you have restaurants, fast food restaurants, dine-in restaurants, fine dining establishments, um, you know,
So,
caterers. I mean, all this
mhm.
has to do with hospitality.
So anything of service of like making you feel at home, feeding you, having you somewhere to lodge, to rest, lay your head, all that is encompassed in the hospitality industry.
And it's
Right?
all encompassed in the hospitality industry. And I'll speak in the property and casualty world, it's all divided into different classifications of business too. So,
Hold on,
for
before we get there,
example,
hold on. So Airbnb is in that classification as well, right? Something like Airbnb. Would that fall into the
yeah, you could say that. Yeah,
question?
short
Okay,
term.
no.
So we would call those short-term rentals, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a Airbnb, whatever there's a lot of other brands
Okay.
too, I think,
Yeah.
but Airbnb is like the most known one.
All right.
But that would be hospitality. That evolved the hospitality industry.
Yeah, it has. All right, I got one more. I know I'm all over the place, but food trucks, things like that. You
Yeah,
kind
I
of
would
first
I
for that,
would
would
say
that kind of go into
yeah,
that?
I
It's not
would say
a restaurant, but it's
hospitality.
kind of right in there, depending on
Yeah,
how you
because they're
set it up.
tied to restaurants, they're tied to like, it's a food
Okay.
business. There's like, there's to go, I mean, yeah, you could say that could encompass the hospitality industry
Okay.
in a way, you know. Food service. It's more food service side,
Yeah.
you know, but
So I assume you need insurances for even those as well, like something like that. You can't just pop up a truck and be like, "Yeah, let's go."
heck no. I mean, there's insurance, but then there's like city, like there's ordinance. So there's
Yeah.
like where are you keeping it? And then so it's interesting because it's like when you start going down the line, insurance comes into play like sometimes a little later for people and they don't think
Mhm.
about it. Which I think this is a good, I mean, this is a good I mean, this is a good clip for people to just think about and consider of when they're starting their business, look into the insurance. So if you're starting anything in the hospitality industry, look into the insurance. You said a food truck, it's more food service oriented. I'm wondering if it falls under the hospitality umbrella. Honestly, man, I'm not 100% sure. But ultimately, if you're opening a food truck, a lot of people don't think about the insurance because they're just like, I need the truck. I'm just going to be parking it. I'm just making food real quick. Like that shouldn't be. So they start going down the process of getting the truck and getting the licenses. And then pretty soon, there's a place where they need to store the truck. And the place is like, hey, where's your insurance?
Hmm. That part.
So it's like you'll get through all these layers and you're paying all this money, and then you're like, oh, I gotta insure the truck. Or you lease the truck and they're like, hey, this equipment needs to be covered.
Yeah.
Where's the insurance for this equipment?
And that's when they call you.
Well, right. That's when I get the phone call. But unfortunately, Nate, I get that phone call, and sometimes people are like, how much?
Is that a good how much or a bad how much?
I mean, for them is a bad how much. For me, it's a good how much.
Yeah.
For them is, but that's what it is. I work with so many different carriers. I could get you the best rate. You want to be covered properly? It's not going to be like dirt cheap.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, oh, but it's just my equipment. It's just that adds all that stuff adds up.
Yeah.
And you still have a truck. It's a bigger vehicle, which can cause more damage if there's an accident.
So what do you feel like are, in your experience in the hospitality area, what do you feel like um some of the biggest, I don't know, I want to say companies or areas, or where do you feel like insurance claims are probably made the most in the hospitality area? Like, what do they feel like? Oh, see, here's where you need it. Could be like, oh, I don't need it. I'm like, yeah, you do. So in the hospitality area, what do you feel like some of the areas where people end up needing it the most that they probably overlook when they, when they're getting started with a business or just in operations, period?
Yeah, it's a good question. So like the first thing that came to my mind, like my gut reaction to that question was workers' comp.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's my gut because a lot of people are like, oh, it's just my cousin.
Because
They're
it
like,
is.
it's just, they have a location, they have an establishment, and they're like, that's just my cousin. It's fine. But then the cousin gets injured, and then it's like, who's gonna take care of your cousin's medical bills?
Mm,
Or the cousin cuts their fingers, they slip in the kitchen, like something happens, and it's like, well, who's gonna or no, that's my friend. That's my friend. And then the friend gets hurt, and then the friend sues the business because the friend is like, "Oh, I got to get paid for like my injury. I went to the hospital. Like, I need all this stuff covered. I can't pay for this." So for me, like workers' compensation comes to mind. Even though it's the law, a lot of people in the hospitality business, especially if it's a smaller business, they're like, "I don't need that."
mm.
Like, I barely pay payroll. They're like, "I only pay like 15,000 in payroll." I'm like, bro, that's payroll. You still you're paying payroll. Like,
Yeah.
get coverage for that. And it's not even that's not even that expensive.
Okay.
For a business like if your payroll is 15,000, okay, man, we could do the math real quick. It's gonna be like $800 for the year.
Oh, yes. That's like less than 100 a month. Like,
It's gonna be like $800. The most will be 1,200. The most $1,200 for the year. The most,
okay,
you know.
it's not too bad. See, business owners is not
No,
that much.
because now you got peace of mind. It's not even that much. Now you got peace of mind. That person's covered. If they get injured, anything happens, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Now you can just
Yeah,
focus on building your business and like let them do the job that they're doing, while you keep focusing on building the business.
man, I think you just said something right. I wish it was called, maybe it should be called peace of mind insurance. You know what I mean? Or mind at ease insurance. Because I mean, dude, that's really what insurance is. It really is. I mean, running a hospitality business already has its fair share of nerve-wracking stuff. You got to worry about so many things. A customer slip and fall in your establishment, a staff member slip and fall in your establishment, a piece of hair get in the food, something, an earring slip out. I mean, it's just so much stuff. Like, can literally, you are one bad Google review from being out of business. You're a one-star review from your 5.0 to being a 3.8. You know what I mean? And trust me, I like to go places and sometimes give my own review and my own experience of what it is. But my wife is like, I'm like, oh, I saw this place on TikTok. She'd be like, I got a 4.1. I don't want to go there. Like, you know what I mean? We don't know what's
Right.
wrong, but unfortunately, more people will talk about their bad experiences than their good ones because they already expect it to be good. So they're like, "Oh, you just gave me good service," and we'll comment and review when you went above and beyond our expectations. Then we'll give you a 5 star. But imagine the owner, the stuff keeping you up at night. Oh my gosh, I mean, it could be something as simple as I never forget. Real example. I know I got an example. I went to Noodles and Company. Me and the family were driving from Delaware back to Chicago. We stopped in Indiana at a Noodles and Company, and I was jonesing for these zucchini noodle type of pasta that they got there, right? Long drive. I'm hungry as a hostage, and we sit down, we eat our food, and I'm like, everybody's grubbing. I'm like, Mm-mm. I see little black hairs all in there, little straight hairs. Like, I'm like, all right, stuff happens. I'm trying to be, you know, hey, can y'all you see this? This ain't mine. I got the curly stuff. This ain't mine. Can you just make me another one? I don't want to be that guy, but yeah, that's nasty. Can we read this? Okay, I'm so sorry. We get you another one. Make me another one. It's more little black hairs in there, and I'm like,
Uh,
yo, man. So I go back to like, as soon as I said, look, and then I look and I see a staff. They got hair nets on, but one dude you can tell he barbershop fresh. Just came from the barbershop. And as I even look as him walk by, I see loose hairs by his ears, on his neck, on his shirt. I'm like, my man right there. She's like, and she said, "Oh," and like if I wanted to be that guy that like I'ma sue the dirt off of your hair, serving me up twice, serving me some hair. You kidding me? I just don't want whatever he's making. I give me something else. You make it. She's like, I'm gonna make it, and it's on the house. Cool. They do that to like to. Hey, let me save the situation from this guy suing me. We don't know if he got insurance or not, but guess what? He's pissed that first time it was cool. Now he pissed. Like that could have kept her up, and I'm sure she had a meeting. Like, bro, anybody get a haircut, go home and wash your hair first. Don't get a haircut and come straight to work. Like that calls for a meeting, and these are things that I mean, so many scenarios can play out where if you're thinking you could cut the corners, I recommend do not cut the corners. Like get what is that? I don't know how that I mean, you gotta have different protections in place from harm, from liability. But what about serving up something wrong? You know what I mean? And
well, right. No, that's a great. I love where this is going because my brain was kind of was moving right now, thinking about what coverage would come into play for the person with the hair, for example, right?
yeah,
Um, and there's a lot of different layers of coverage that I think about, but it's more if like it causes harm. So insurance comes into play when s- when um when there's an incident that
mm,
happens,
true.
right?
Yeah.
So the incident, usually for your general liability, there has to be some kind of bodily injury or property damage,
Okay. So like for
right?
example, the lady
So
that
let's say
broke
you
her
ate
hand
those
at
hairs.
McDonald's.
Let's say you were eating. Let's say you were eating. You didn't notice. You're eating, you're eating, you're
Yeah.
eating. And you're like, it's like the hair starts scraping your tongue
Ah,
and you get a rash, right? Because that's, bro, I mean, this is the scenario,
so nasty. Yeah.
right? And you
Yeah,
get a
you're right.
rash because that person, bro, like they have something too, and you don't know. And like, so like now you have this rash and you have bodily injury,
Mm,
right? So
yeah.
you could sue this business. McDonald's was sued because their coffee was too hot.
Right. I was just thinking about that scenario. Yeah.
And it's because it caused bodily injury. Someone burned themselves. So they were able to sue because of the bodily injury. There was something that happened that caused that to happen. So your liability protection gives you coverage for that. So right off the bat, you're a business, get liability. Like,
Gotta have my ability.
bro, like I have my catering company, Pocket World, plug for Pocket World, Colombian empanadas. But
I was,
Pocket World, I have general liability for my catering business,
yeah.
right? It's like $800 for the year,
Yeah.
right? And I have like really good coverage. I added more coverage. I got my property covered. Like I added the things that just to protect myself, and I
Yeah.
added some extra stuff. And so like I have a decent policy for myself. I'm just, bro, it's just me. Like it's a small business. And I'm thinking about people are eating these hot things. Like
True.
I'm telling them they're hot, but what if they just like take a bite, like, my mouth burned. Ah, yo. Okay, cool. Here, I got insurance. I don't, bro, I'm good. Like, go ahead. You
Oh my
know?
gosh.
Like that peace of mind, being
Yeah.
aware. We're talking earlier about awareness, about being
Yeah.
aware and like the fears. I think a lot of business owners, I'll speak for myself as a business owner, there's fear, bro. I'm scared all the time, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm scared. If I don't close business, I won't eat.
Ain't that the truth?
Right? If I don't get a certain account, I can't, if I'm not talking to people, like, bro, there's all these different things I have to do. That's like, there's a lot of fear that ties into that. So
Yeah,
I'm not driven by that, but I can create things that can help me, like,
yeah.
so I could be like, oh, I got that. Like, this is good. Bro, my homeowner's insurance. One day, I'll give you, I know we're talking about the hospitality industry, but this could easily apply to um a restaurant. You're the building owner, right? You own
Hmm.
the building, you have inventory in your basement, okay? Water backs up. Do you have coverage for that? You lose
Hmm.
all your inventory because of water backing up.
Wow.
It happened in my home. Bro, we were in Six Flags. It was raining. There was like all these things about like flooding. Bro, I was like, man, hey, we gotta file a claim. We file a claim. Like we got
Yeah.
water backup. We got that coverage.
Yeah.
Like it's like oh shoot, I lost something.
I think your camera just jumped off the screen. It looked like he just floated and just disappeared. All you can see is the logo. You
It
just
was
see.
a mic drop. It was a mic drop moment.
Oh man, that was funny.
It,
Oh man.
it was
But
a mic drop moment. But no, but you know what I'm saying? It's like as a business owner, like that you said, what did you call it? Peace of mind
peace of
insurance?
mind. Peace of mind. That's
Peace
that's
of
what we
mind.
call
That
it. We say, what are the benefits of getting insurance? Oh, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get that, you're gonna get this, that, and you're gonna get peace of freaking mind, man. Like, it's just needed. Like, you already got enough, as you can say, you already got enough fears and things on edge. People wonder why your manager or your restaurant owner sometimes is on edge because they know that if anything could go wrong, sometimes something's going to go wrong. Unfortunately, everybody doesn't have common sense.
Well, food contamination. You could add food contamination coverage to your policy for
See, we need to listen to
hospitality.
that.
A lot of people
Food
don't have that.
contamination, general liability, workman's comp. Think of the ones that you drop gems on. So we can itemize this in
Bro,
the comment section or in the description. We could put that in there
yeah, well,
because people need.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, look, I mean, because we could go for days of the different coverages. I mean, not really for days, but it's, like you said, like workers' compensation, general liability, food contamination, food spoilage coverage. If there's a power outage and your food spoils because of the power outage, do you have coverage for that? You know?
Wow.
Um, Employment practices liability. If an employee speaks to a customer in a way that isn't appropriate, that customer sues you. That's employment practices liability. Restaurants, hospitality, they're dealing with people every day, in and out. It's more likely that these things are going to happen. You know, you have your loss of income insurance. Loss of income is huge. There's loss of income and there's extra expense. So when you have your loss of income, that's just what you bring in. But the extra expense is like your payrolls, your bills, all these different things that you got to pay for. Who's going to cover the income that covers that? Right?
Wait, so all right, this is a new one. I'm learning, y'all. So if there is, let's just say you got a bad, I don't know, month, and it's hard you lose income. It's hard to pay your people. There's an insurance that
Well,
helps with
that's not
that, or
not because you had a bad month.
with this
Remember,
loss of income, that because you had damages or something like
yeah,
that.
remember, it's like, bro, it's like life insurance. Life insurance isn't triggered until something happens.
Okay. So it's not like, oh, we had a bad month. I could pull a claim and we need an extra 3 grand to pay two people. It's not that. It's like some crap went down. We had
Yeah,
damages. We got
we had a kitchen fire.
yeah, stuff like that.
Hey,
Yeah.
we had a kitchen fire. We can't use our kitchen for 2 weeks. I got to
Mm,
pay staff. And in some restaurants, bro, some restaurants are racking in 10,000 a week. Some restaurants are
yeah.
racking in 20,000 a week, 100,000 a week, bro. Some restaurants are racking a lot of money a week.
Yeah.
Your loss of income, if you don't, if those 2 weeks could really set you back.
Yeah. Yeah. Furnace goes out, stove goes out, can't cook. Yeah. Don't that's
Especially
that.
if it's not your fault, right?
Yeah.
The next door business had a fire and that messed up with your electricity, and now your fridge went out and you can't use your stove anymore because it's shorted out because you have this like high-end stove that does whatever, whatever, whatever. So now all your meat went bad too. So now you have spoilage coverage, and then you have loss of income because of the days it's going to take to recover all these things. So those are two separate coverages, and that's one incident that could affect those two different things where you can be
Several
properly
different
covered
things.
for.
Oh, wow. So that's, see, excuse me, I didn't know in any of this. Check it. Of course, I got all these scenarios going through my brain right now. So,
Bring
ho-
them.
hospitality, true story. It used to annoy me, but I get it now. Like, don't show my wife no crazy stuff on the news because then she's gonna apply to everything, right? So we don't go to, I could probably count on one hand, and we travel often. We go to a hotel just on general principle. She like, call soon as we get in the room. Hey, can you have somebody bring us fresh sheets? Like for real. Can we get some fitted sheets, some cover up sheets, pillowcases? And I'm like, I know they probably like they just got in the room. Like she was like, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been a few times. She'll look, see, sustain right there, hair right there. I ain't doing it. And used to, I'm like, you be doing too much, but now I'm like, yo, you know what? I get it. Like I get it, because God forbid, I don't know. God forbid you ain't paying attention. I don't know. I'm thinking of some scenarios now. Thankfully, it never happened, but you know, you sleep on something. It's a stain there. It's a chemical there. It's something there that breaks you out. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times, it's the staff aren't thinking about. They're thinking, I gotta do 20 rooms within the next hour. You know what I mean? Just quickly. They're not thinking about what the owner is thinking about, and they need that peace of mind. Like whether my staff are right today or not feeling good today, whether they're on their square, like I'm cool that if somebody tried to come for me for, whatever reason, I have coverages for that. But I understand slip and fall, liabilities hurt, but does something like that fall into under liability, or is it just one of those things of you apply common sense and just know when to get the heck out of there? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, so what do you mean? Like if you're like, so you go, is the scenario is I go to a hotel, I get in the bed sheet has a chemical on it, I break out because of that chemical. We find out that it's because of the bed sheet chemical, and so I sue the hotel because of that. There's coverage for that.
there's coverage for that.
Yeah, because
If it's just
that
something
something
gross, you just
caused
need to,
bodily injury. That's called products and completed operations.
okay.
So your product and your completed operation, this is what you do, right? And if you're sued because you caused bodily injury or property damage because of your product, because of what you do, there's coverage for that, right? Now,
Okay.
is there gonna, there's like there could be a claim. Is it gonna pay out? I don't know. Like we'll see, right? Like that's like the process. That's where attorneys get involved. I can't really say that it's gonna
Yeah.
pay, that a claim's gonna pay for sure, but that's why they get insurance. But there's something I was thinking about while you were sharing that, is that like these are things that like sometimes people wonder like why is this so expensive, or like why is it so expensive to stay here? Why is it so expensive to be here? And a lot of times these places they pay more. Like they'll pay their employees more, and they'll like invest more in training, and so
Yeah.
they charge more. And not just that, they because they pay more, they have to pay more in insurance.
Mm. Yeah.
So in the hospitality industry, I get charged. My workers' compensation is based on my payroll, how much I pay in payroll. And so if I pay my people more, I take better care of my people because I pay them more.
Yeah.
My insurance is going to cost more.
They'll cost more. Okay.
So so my costs to the general public, I got to charge more because I'm offering a better service. Like that's why I pay my people more, to offer a better service.
So like RPM, Steakhouse, some of those, with downtown Chicago, the names are slipping me, but I'm thinking of, yeah, Savoy
Yeah,
has
Ruth
very
Chris, Ruth Chris,
Ruth Chris. Yeah,
right,
they're
right.
charging more, but they got to pay more in expenses, better products, higher pay for staff, better things. So yeah, that makes
Well, their
sense.
insurance, that's why their insurance is more too, right? Because it's like
Yeah,
they got to cover their expensive meats, their expensive wines.
yeah,
Like they have all this different inventory that other place doesn't. So all cost, everything is just higher. Like all costs. They have a manager there that they're paying 120, $150,000 a year.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
they gotta pay work comp just for that one salary, and then they got all these other salaries.
yeah. So you need coverage for that. You need insurance for that. That general manager gets hurt on the job doing something. Yeah, he's out of work for 3 months. It's like, whew, it's an expensive chunk, but we gotta take care of him. You know what I mean?
They got
Because
claims, bro.
yeah,
I've insured a
yeah,
lot of different restaurants, a lot of different hotels that have they have claims. They have claims, and that's they pay a decent amount of money because they have a lot of people and they have to cover these people. So
yeah,
it's interesting. It's like sometimes it's like, wow, this place is so inexpensive, but it's like, well, yeah, like the smaller, like that's what I love the hole in the wall, like
mm-hmm,
kind of like the restaurants, like the sandwich shops. It's just these smaller, like, man, it's dope because it's like they're small, but it's like because they're putting so much into the product, right?
yeah,
Like they're putting so much because they
yeah,
can, because they don't have
yeah,
all these other expenses that they have to worry about.
right,
And those
yeah,
places sometimes they'll grow big, but it's because they have a very solid foundation. Like they built a
yeah.
very strong, solid foundation by getting the right coverages, taking care of like just like the product that they offer, and just taking the proper steps, you know?
And you just put some in my head because we're talking about versions of property and casualty. And I'm thinking now of like some places might need a key persons. Like if your chef is the reason why your business is doing what it's doing, if you lose that person, if they get sick, they can't work for a few months, they need something like you need a key person's insurance because guess what? You're gonna lose business. Like you ever seen places that were really good and then they try to expand and then they lose quality because let's get three more chefs. I'm sorry, these guys are not doing what this guy's doing. You know what I mean? Or if something happened to this guy, he got sick, he passed away, something like that. You're gonna lose a lot of revenue before you find somebody who can do what he do. You're going to need key man insurance for that as well. Because I'm telling you, you're going to go from 5 stars to 3 stars. They're going to be like, and I don't even want to say any restaurants' names, but I can think of some within the past 10 years in Chicago that don't hit the way they used to. And they got different chefs and they got different things.
They
Yeah.
No, they lost. No, man, I love that because it's not just the chefs, the managers, like like in a hotel,
Mm, yeah.
you got the person that's been there 15 plus years. They know everything left and right.
Everything.
You don't have key person insurance for this individual. You know, they're no longer here, and now you got to hire someone. You can't hire a base level person to do that
Mm,
job. You got
no.
to invest in a very like you might have to hire three people just to cover that one person's job.
Yeah.
So now you got this money from this key person insurance policy. You can say, "Oh my goodness, thank goodness I hit up Nate to give me that key person insurance
Yeah.
because now I can use this 300,000.
Yeah.
Let's say you got a $600,000 policy. You gave 50% to the family, 50% to the business. Now you
Yeah.
got 300,000. You can say, "Yo, let's
Whew.
let's let's get three people to cover this person while we like at least so we don't lose speed,
Yeah.
so we don't lose because
Right.
like a good chef, a good manager, bro, like it takes a
Yeah.
couple people just to make up for that one person. And bro, that's the
Big
one
time.
thing that I feel kind of angry right now because I'm like I wish people saw the value in people like that. Where
Yeah.
they where they were like, man, because what you said, a lot of places may not have fallen off if they were like, you know what? I'm gonna invest in this person and look, I want to make sure when you're no longer here, like we're taken care of, your family's taken care of, and this is how we're gonna do it, you know? Because like
Perfect.
that's how you keep things going, and it's so that's a very good point, man. I'm glad you brought that up because I really agree. Like the hospitality industry, at least from what I've seen, I haven't seen really many like key person policies or that being something that's like talked about a lot within
Yeah,
the industry. Maybe because it's not something that I specialize in, but I'd
yeah.
love to hear like what people think. You know, if you own a restaurant, you own a hotel, you know, who are those key people? Are
Mhm.
you like covering them?
The
Like,
mom and pop, the mom and pop shops, man. People, I'm telling you, when that mom or pop go, what usually goes? The company goes. 9 times out of 10, the company goes, unless like the children are equally invested into the restaurant. But guess what? Can't do what mom and pop did. Maybe they have vision to expand, but guess what? Mom and pop are gone now. All of a sudden, you need that. Thank God they had $1 million policy. We can expand. We can do what we got to do. We can learn some of their things and hire
we could
some new
just cover, bro. We could just pay for the bills. We just
something
cover the debt. Like, we could
like
at least take care of the
yeah,
debt. Like, it's as simple
something
as that, right? Because it's
easy
like
things. Yeah, but
that
without
will,
that,
huh?
said yeah, but without that, just good luck. You're
No,
pulling
yeah, you
from
done.
revenue or you're caving in. Why do you think COVID so many businesses went under? You know what I mean? They didn't
Right.
have certain insurances in place. They didn't have certain things in place to cover when the world goes to crap. And they're like, oh my gosh. You know what I mean? Like we
Man,
need
that's
some.
gonna be a good one. Hey, that's gonna be a good one to talk about because COVID changed the insurance industry pretty crazy. Like,
And
it
let's,
changed so much.
I'm gonna put that topic down. How
Yeah, you got to
COVID
put that one
changed
down for the
insurance.
next one. But we're at time, man.
We're at time, man.
Yeah, we're at time. We're at time right now. I mean, this was a great conversation. Um, and I think, I'm going to start off by just kind of sharing like a takeaway of mine is what you said about the key person insurance in the hospitality industry. It's like I think the hospitality industry has a big issue with a lot of employee turnover. A lot of
Hmm.
people leave the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
Not leave the industry, but like within it, there's a lot of people that are constantly like leaving jobs, going to different
Yeah.
places.
Company.
I
Yeah.
think if I think if businesses had mom and pop shops, larger business, like whatever, if they had in place these kinds of like key person insurance, the right coverages, they could kind of like have peace of mind. Well, you said, man, peace of mind insurance.
Yeah.
Like getting that peace of mind insurance. And just like the key person insurance is so big for that because now you're not really worried about that person leaving because you know you're taking care of them, you know that they're taken care of, and you're focusing on building the business and not so much of like, you know, making
Yeah.
sure you're micromanaging everything, And so I think that's really important for this industry. But yeah, that's
Takeaway, man. I know me. My takeaway was just so many of the smaller intricacies like that are there because liability is one thing, but what if nobody gets hurt? Like you said, what about food contamination, food spoilage? Like, man, I saw a video on one of the social medias where, man, the food was bad. And they just didn't want to get rid of it. People are like, I'm gonna take this home and do. I'm like, dude, even some of the others like, ew, you gonna take that? Are you gonna show up next week? You might die. Like, count your losses, throw that away. But if they had the right insurances for that, they'd be like, okay, something went wrong. We just have to file a claim. We're okay. We're not going to try to serve the people spoiled meat and then risk another lawsuit or give it away to somebody would risk another problem. Like, just have the peace of mind. Okay, something happened. Things went bad. We need food contamination and spoilage clauses made in our insurance. Like, but again, I think it's also one of the things people don't know if they don't talk to the right insurance broker. So you need to contact Edwin Moreno if you are in the hospitality field, period, and see what insurances apply to your business. Because last thing you want to do is get wiped out by something that you just didn't have covered. So get that peace of
right.
mind. Just know, whatever it is, there's insurance for that. Thank you all for watching another episode. See us next week when we either talk about how COVID changed the industry or some other topics that we have cooking. So we can't wait to see you guys next week. Until then, be blessed. I'll talk to you then. Peace.
Peace.